Hello, everyone. Let me just make sure we're live here. Yeah, looks like we are. So my name is Gillian Florence Sanger. If you were here a couple of weeks ago, you would have had a meditation with me. I will be doing today's meditation, covering for Sean, as well as next week. So if you're here today or next week, then I will be leading you through a practice. So today, it's night for me here. I'm in Stockholm, Sweden. I know it's morning for a lot of you tuning in. But today we will be doing a gratitude practice. Before we get there, in the comments, please let me know where you're joining us from. We typically have people all around the world joining in for these meditations. So I'd love to know where you are. Again, I'm in Stockholm, well, outside of Stockholm, Sweden, actually, from Toronto, Canada. And as I mentioned, today we'll be doing a gratitude practice. And I know there's a lot going on in the world that can lead us feeling the opposite of gratitude. And gratitude practice is not about denying whatever else is going on in our lives, or denying some of the challenges we face, whether individually or collectively. It's simply about widening our lens and seeing if we can, at least in this moment, tune into whatever blessings we have in our lives. Because just as things can be very challenging, there is a lot of beauty in this very moment, and that we can tune in to today. So I'm just taking a look at the comments here. Hello, Enrique, Stacy from St. Paul, Minnesota, Frankie, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Nick, Honolulu, Anna from Oregon, Krishwanda, I think is your name, from Canada. Laura, Indianapolis. Michael, also Canada, Saskatoon. Dr. Ernest is from Tampa, Florida. We have Nalini from Mexico. Enrique is from Chicago. Jennifer, Southern California. Jessica, Colorado Springs. Abdur from PK. I'm not sure where that is. I'm Canadian, so I'm not sure if that's a US state or elsewhere. We have Uniclaire from the Philippines, Kim from Southern California, Jerry, Black Hills of South Dakota, Lawrence from Trinidad and Tobago, Maribel, Indiana, Amy, Oregon, Renee from Toronto, fellow Torontonian, Enrique in LA, Sarah, London, Glenda is in New Mexico, and Jessica, nighttime for me as well. So welcome to everyone who's still joining us. Again, my name is Gillian, and I'll be covering for Sean today, leading a guided gratitude practice. So again, I know there's a lot going on in the world, but maybe we can just offer ourselves this time to tune into the blessings that are available and around us here and now. So hello, Gabrielle, Jacqueline, and Tasha, Melissa, welcome. Mohammed, Iran, welcome everyone. Florida, it's lovely to see so many people from all around the world. Alabama. All right, so I will lead this practice. Maybe it might be about 20 minutes or so. At the end of the practice, please let me know how that experience was for you, and if you have any questions about gratitude or mindfulness in general, but definitely any questions specifically related to this practice or gratitude in general. So we can get started by just taking a moment to settle into whatever space is holding you. So you might be seated, you might be lying down, whatever feels most accessible for you in this moment. And you can gently close your eyes or lower your gaze. And I invite you to take just a few clearing breaths. These might be in through the nose and out through the mouth. Or perhaps you stick to strictly nostril breathing. And after your next clearing exhale, just come back to your natural rhythm of breathing, your breath's natural depth and pace in this moment. And just take a moment to feel into that connection you have with the physical space that's supporting you. So, noticing all the parts of your body that make contact with that surface beneath you. Noting that in this moment you are supported by the earth, that you are supported by the breath, and you are supported by gravity. And from the very bottom of your body, so from the tips of your toes, just slowly scanning your body upwards, noticing if there's any tension or tightness that you can safely and gently just let go of. So relaxing your legs, moving up into your hips, your pelvis, and your belly. Up into your chest. Just noticing where you might be able to soften. Noticing your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. And then letting your awareness rise through your neck into your jaw. Maybe letting your tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. Moving up into the forehead, the crown of the head, and softening wherever you can do so, gently and comfortably. And with your eyes closed or your gaze lowered, I invite you to tune into what you can notice about this space that holds you, and specifically what you feel gratitude for in this moment. So maybe you can feel appreciation for the chair, or the couch, or the floor beneath you. Maybe you can feel appreciation for the clothes against your skin. Maybe for the breath as you feel it entering and exiting your body. Or maybe for any sounds that you can hear, including the sound of silence. So just noticing what you can feel gratitude for in this moment without even opening your eyes, without doing anything, but for noticing what it feels like to exist in this moment. Maybe there's appreciation for the felt sense of your body, for the way your hands rest in one another or fall gently on your lap. And then seeing if you can expand your awareness with eyes still remaining closed or gaze lowered to sense into the wider space that holds you. What there can you offer gratitude for? So maybe you can sense or imagine the protection of the roof above you, perhaps offering gratitude for any nature sounds that come through an open window. Maybe sensing into the city or the village or the land that holds you, feeling a sense of gratitude for your wider environment. And then allow your awareness to expand wider than this present moment, encapsulating the minutes and hours of today that came before this one. And what of your day so far can you cultivate or sense gratitude for? Maybe a meal that you ate, a loved pet or human that you've interacted with, maybe a cup of tea or coffee. Just notice anything that you have experienced today already that you can offer your appreciation for. And then expand even wider to notice anything else about your life at this time that you are thankful for. Specific friends or family or pets, a job or project, a feeling, an insight, or an emotion. What else in your life can you offer your gratitude for? Continue to sense into whatever arises for you, and perhaps silently whispering, "Thank you, thank you." You might even become aware of things that at one time were challenges but that have taught you something or that have offered you some gift. And offer your thanks for those things as well if they arise. Just taking a few more moments to notice if there's anything or anyone you would like to express a deep, sincere thank you for. Sense into whatever or whomever that is and offer your thanks now. And I invite you now to slowly come back to your breath. Just noticing the way it enters and exits your body. Maybe resting one or both hands on your heart. Maybe bowing your head slightly. And thanking yourself for this practice today. You yourself are just as worthy of your gratitude, your love, your appreciation. Maybe slowly letting your hands come back down to your lap if they've been resting on your heart. Feeling into the surface beneath your body. Maybe bringing a little bit of light movement into your hands, your wrists, your toes, and your ankles. And slowly opening your eyes whenever you're ready. So thank you everyone for practicing that with me today. See a few new people have joined in the comments. I would love to hear how that practice sat with you today. Anything that stood out to you as particularly nourishing or insightful or maybe even surprising. Anything at all. Um, I think this type of practice is so important, especially again, as I mentioned, there can be so many challenges in life, and it's easy to get caught up in our difficulties. Again, either individually or collectively. But I think taking this time to widen our lens and to grant ourselves a bit of perspective and to really actually just come into this moment and to notice what we are blessed with in this moment can be so, so helpful. Um, just taking a look at the comments. Monisha, gratitude is beautiful. Sarah and Susan say thank you. Dr. Ernest, thank you, and thank you all. Yeah, thank you all for joining. Um, I have immense gratitude for communities and spaces like this one where we can get together and practice, even if we are miles apart from one another. But we get this as a reminder that we are connected and that we're not alone, and that we're all in this together. So even though we can't see one another face to face and we don't know one another, just seeing everyone reaching out in the comments is such a beautiful reminder that we are in this together. So yes, thank you all. Um, Monisha says gratitude to self. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's easy to forget ourselves in the mix of things as we're extending gratitude outwards, but we can also extend it inwards and know what we're thankful for about our own being and our own practice. Cherish, thank you. Jacqueline, appreciate you. That was wonderful. Thank you. Beautiful. Uniclaire says, realizing there's so much to be grateful for. Yeah. I think, especially with a guided practice like this one, we can really sense into all the different layers of things that we can be appreciative of. Um, it's like when you write a gratitude list, you might start off with one or two things and it might take a little while, but that list could extend on forever. There's so many things we don't often think about. Can we be grateful for all of the healthy, vibrant cells in our body? Can be grateful for our organs and our muscles. Can we be grateful for these invisible but felt qualities within us? So our strength, our resilience, our courage. We so often admire and see the beauty in others, but can we be also appreciative of those things within us? So yeah, there's so many layers to this. Nalini, thank you. That was beautiful. Hello, Nalini's in Mexico. I went deep in the mountains in the clear blue sea. Thank you again. Loved it. Beautiful. Johnny says, thanks. Lily, thank you so much. That is great. I feel so calm and gratitude to be here. Beautiful. Maribel, thank you for this beautiful practice. Gabrielle, thank you. Tanya, besides practicing gratitude, I like that we practice attention. Yeah, I think one thing that I've noticed is that some people think that gratitude is about, or gratitude practices are about forcing certain feelings upon ourselves. But I think it's actually just about directing our attention to what is actually here. So we're not trying to make ourselves feel a certain way. We're just trying to notice, and that just comes from our attention. So where do we put our attention? And gratitude practice is placing our attention on those things that are here right now that we can feel appreciative of. Or even if we're expanding out and we're thinking about things that happened earlier in the day, it's still guiding our awareness to the things that uplift us and nourish us and support us. So yeah, I really appreciate that comment. Monisha, positive resonance all around. Jennifer, I appreciate your event and thank you. Have a blessed rest of the week. Christina, prayer hands. Melissa, thank you so much for offering your great insights. You're most welcome. Mira on LinkedIn sends tons of hearts, a smiley face, and a thumbs up. Amy, thank you for sharing your time with us as well as your sweet voice. Thank you, Amy. If you have any questions, I would love to read them. While you're sharing those in the chat, something that comes to mind to share is to talk a bit about gratitude practice when we are not feeling so great or when gratitude is out of reach. Well, gratitude practice might not be exactly what we need in every moment when we're feeling down. I personally, the first time I ever practiced any kind of gratitude was maybe, or in a formal sense. So, of course, I felt gratitude in my life, but in a more formal sense, it wasn't a meditation. It was simply doing a journal exercise. This must have been maybe 9 or 10 years ago. And I remember I was feeling really down. I can't remember the circumstances, but I was not having a good day. And I took my journal and I went and I laid out underneath a tree and I just started to make a list of the things that I could be grateful for, even despite whatever else I was experiencing, whatever challenges I had. And I remember in that moment, after I'd made that list, feeling this shift. And it wasn't that my challenges had gone away, but my perception had grown, and that in and of itself offered me the resilience I would need to then be able to manage my emotions, my feelings, and whatever the situation at hand would have been. So I think it's a beautiful practice to explore when we feel called to, when things are difficult. In the same way, if we're having a really rough day and we're lying in bed, one thing that often really feels supportive for me is just to feel gratitude for the bed beneath me, for the pillow my head is resting on, for the blankets around me. These small things can make such a huge difference if we just open our awareness to them. So I just offer that as a little bit of extra support or insight if anyone feels called to explore that at any time when they feel some kind of challenge. I'm just taking a look back to the beginning of the comments, make sure I didn't miss anything. I will share with you an article on cultivating gratitude. If you're interested in exploring some other practices, some meditations, some journal exercises, I share it there in the chat. I don't think it's connected to LinkedIn at the moment, but I sent it through to Facebook and YouTube, and it's just an article on how we can cultivate gratitude, why it's important, and it offers a variety of different exercises for doing so. So if you like this practice, you might find something there of benefit. Gabrielle says, I find thinking about what life would be like without things we take for granted deepen my sense of gratitude. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many things. Thank you for sharing that, Gabrielle. There's so many things that we, that all of us, I'm sure, take for granted. How often do we actually give thanks for the electricity, the lighting in our homes, the refrigeration we have, the um, appliances, our stove, the heating in our house, especially if you live somewhere with cold winters, um, things like washing machines and blenders and cars, like the list goes on. There's so many things in modern life. Um, Access to fresh food, whenever we need it, essentially. Um, yeah, there's just so many things that we don't often recognize are huge blessings. And you're right, if we try to imagine life without some of these things, at least for me, there is this instant sense of appreciation. So yeah, I resonate with that a lot, Gabrielle. Um, and again, it's I do think often there's this misconception that gratitude can be about bypassing or denying the difficulties in life, but I really don't think that is the case. So often our attention is very narrow on some of the more difficult things, some of our challenges, and those certainly deserve our attention. Um, but how often do we, and can we make more space to recognize what we're grateful for? And there's so many benefits of gratitude. It's not just a feel good practice for us. When we're grateful, and especially when we express our gratitude, our relationships get stronger. Um, our mental well-being gets it often becomes improved. Our engagements with our community increases, so maybe we're kinder and more appreciative towards the person who checks us out at the grocery store, or who makes our latte at the local cafe. um, and there, in addition, coming back to the benefits for the self, it's not just about how we feel mentally or emotionally. There's lots of studies that show there are physical benefits of gratitude practice, um, specifically around improving heart health, which, um, if you're into energy medicine at all, that would come as no surprise, given that the heart is the energetic center of love and compassion, and those energies are very much connected with gratitude. Can we have love for this moment, love for the blessings in our lives, love for the people around us? So yeah, there's lots of research on that. If you're interested, is something worth diving into. So if anyone else has comments, feel free to share them in the chat. As I mentioned at the very beginning, I will be here next Thursday as well. And I believe we will be doing, or I will be doing, a guided meditation on loving kindness, which is another super beautiful practice, and very important for the times that we're in, to cultivate loving kindness for ourselves and for others. Of course, it's always a beautiful practice, but at least for myself personally, I feel now that it's extra helpful and extra deep and empowering to cultivate love for others, people that we already love and admire, and also people that we might have difficulties or disagreements with. So I think that's what we have lined up for next week. If there's no further questions, then we can leave it here for today, tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for practicing. So much gratitude for everyone that showed up, for everyone that shared in the comments. Again, community is so, so important. And I personally feel that there's such a There's such a difference practicing with others, even if it's virtually, than practicing on our own. Practicing on our own is beautiful and necessary and um, definitely powerful and healing and all of that. But there's something about practicing live and knowing that we're sharing this energetic space and we're sharing these words and these invitations and that we're not doing it alone. Um, so thank you again, everyone, and I hope to see some of you next week. Um, I wish you a beautiful rest of your day or night, and I'll connect with you all soon. Take care.